diminish and make less the value of people's property, people's labor, etc. That is haram. And so this money, which is losing value, is by the definition of the Quran haram. But we were asleep. Let me conclude myself in it so nobody will be angry with me. We were all asleep. And we didn't recognize that we were being taken for a ride. But had it been an African American, you must have heard his name, a man named Malcolm X.
As all of you know, Al-Hajj Malik al-Shahbaz, more popularly known as Malcolm X, is one of the great, we believe to be one of the great martyrs of Islam. And he was a person who spoke the truth, and he was a person who was killed in the course of making the best jihad. As our noble Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam informed us, "Afdalul jihad kalimatu haqq inda sultan jair." So at that time, we know how the repressive policies of this country, especially concerning the African American people and other minorities, and he spoke up in defense of those oppressed people. And we know of his campaign to bring the United States before the United Nations, and also his Islam, that when he found Islam to be true, or the true Islam, then he proceeded to embrace it. So he went from stage to stage, and it is his courage, his vision, and his uncompromising pursuit of the truth in his personal life and in the life of his people that have made him an enduring hero for so many people across the racial line, color line, ethnic lines that many times divide this country. So he is a witness to the power of the truth and the power of those who defend the truth and stand by the truth. And his words live on, they live on in our hearts. His example lives on, and we pray that Allah Ta'ala makes us a fitting group of successors for such a noble predecessor. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.
I'm a Muslim. If there is something wrong with that, then I stand condemned. My religion is Islam. I believe in Allah. I believe in Muhammad as the apostle of Allah. I believe in brotherhood of all men.
Oh, he used to see with two eyes. Oh yes. Had it been Malcolm, Malcolm would have asked, who took my money? And how did they take it? And then it would have become clear that my loss was somebody else's gain. Let me repeat that. When my money could no longer buy a camel, it could only buy a donkey. The value of my labor has been diminished by half. My loss was somebody else's gain. 5 years later, when I take it out, can't buy a donkey anymore. Can only buy a goat now. And so my 1 month has now been diminished to 1 week. If this keeps on going on, I'm going to be enslaved. A new slavery will come upon the world if this keeps on going on like this. Surely it was time for the Ummah of Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam to stop fighting amongst themselves over popcorn. Because that's what they're doing. Fighting over popcorn. While this massive betrayal of Islam is taking place, and we are blissfully ignorant of it. That's the price we pay when we only have scholarship but no nur. 5 years later, when you take out that money, can't buy a goat anymore. You only buy chicken and chips. That's where Indonesia is now. That is where Indonesia is now, chicken and chips.
Biasa kan nongkrong dulu nyari kerja gitu, nyari besi paku rongsok.
Saya dikeluarkan dari sekolah karena nggak bisa biaya sekolahan.
Ya. Enggak bagaimana, udah nggak.
Gitu aja nggak?
Iya.
Dokter
Enggak. Nggak pernah ke dokter kak. Sakit di ini sendiri, minum obat doang, sembuh sendiri. Dikerokin sama emak.
If this keeps on going on, I'm going to be enslaved. A new slavery will come upon the world. If this keeps on going on like this,